Hello and welcome to my channel. Today is March 11th, 2021, and today we're going to go over gun control bills. That's right, everyone's favorite topic. The House passes a bill to expand background checks for gun sales. This is the one that's going to force private citizens to do background checks when they hand over their weapon when they sell it to other people. Democrats are emboldened by their majority, the House and the Senate. Democrats are making new push to enact the first major new gun control laws in more than 2 decades, starting with stricter background checks. The House passed two bills Thursday requiring background checks on all firearms sales and transfers and to allow the expanded 10-day review for gun purchases. Similar bills were passed by the House in 2019, shortly after the Democrats won the majority, but the languish in the GOP control Senate for the next 2 years. Democrats now hold the Senate, as well as giving the party hope as the legislation will at least be considered. But the bills will need significant bipartisan support to pass. The renewed push is the latest effort by the Democrats and some Republicans who have repeatedly tried and failed to pass tougher gun control laws since 2012 shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Connecticut that killed 20 children and 6 educators. While enhanced background checks are generally popular with the American public, even with some conservative, Congress has not been able to pass or been able to find compromise on the issue. It is unclear whether the Senate Democrats could find deep enough support among the Republicans to pass the new gun control legislation in a 50-50 Senate. They will need at least 60 votes to do so. Still, the bills are part of an effort by the Democrats to move to sever majority legislation priority while they hold both chambers of Congress and the White House. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said Thursday that Republicans' legislative graveyard is over and the bill would require background checks on all firearm sales and will have a vote in the Senate. A vote is what we need, Schumer said. We'll find out where the Republicans stand. Exactly. So, more gun control. I always say if you want gun control, then you should use both hands. And go away, ad blockers. There's more of it. Oh, yeah, Senate Majority Chuck Schumer on Thursday vowed that the Senate would vote on the Bipartisan Background Checks Act of 2021, which passed the House Thursday in a 220 to 203 vote. Prior bills of H.R. 8 bill, which would require background checks for all firearm purchases, passed in 2019, yada yada yada. Sent over. Mitch McConnell didn't put it for a vote because he understands that we have the Second Amendment for a reason. The House also passed H.R. 1446, the Enhanced Background Check Act by 219 to 210 vote. The bill will extend the amount of time to complete the federal background check before the gun purchase is approved. Currently, it's set to 3 days, and this will make it 10 days. Rep. Mike Thompson, Democrat from California, and 131 co-sponsors reintroduced H.R. 8 on March 2nd. Certainly, hundreds of thousands and maybe millions of people walking in the streets today because we passed the 1994 Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act would be dead. I disagree. Schumer, who authorized the Brady Act requiring background checks on all firearm buyers, said during the briefing. He continued, but when we passed the law, little did we know it had some loopholes in it that we didn't know at the time. We didn't know what would be the internet, so we didn't prohibit internet sales without background checks. All right. let's get something clear straight here right now. You still cannot buy a gun and get it shipped to your house. It's not a possibility. You cannot buy a gun from a legal website and have it shipped to your house. This right here is an emotional string. This right here is propaganda. It is not a completely true statement. And what I mean by that is that it's missing a good amount of the detail here. So let's say if I go to Gun Broker or any site that sells ammunitions and weapons, especially a handgun or a rifle, if I were to make that purchase would have to be sent to a FFL to have a background check done before that person hands me the gun. Now, this is either Academy or a gun store, doesn't matter. If you have if you're trying to purchase a weapon online, whether it be a pistol or a rifle, it must go to a gun store or someone that holds a license, and they will conduct the background check. And it is from there whether you get to take home your new toy or it gets shipped back to the company you purchase it from. So this right here wouldn't exactly call it a lie, but it's not a complete accurate truth. So for those that are not into the gun industry and the gun culture, know that this is a emotional string and it's propaganda, and you do need a background check when you're purchasing a gun from online or the internet. This is not me spouting off opinion. This is a fact. Like I said, like a legal website. Now, if you go to we are illegalblackmarketguns.com, that's not a legal website, and they will not do a background check and probably ship it to you. And hopefully, that's a fictitious website. Anyways, back to this. Democrats have criticized what they call the Charleston loophole after the 2015 Memorial AMC church massacre in Charleston, South Carolina, which referred to its current law that allowed federal firearm licenses to proceed with a firearm transfer if the background check is not completed within 3 business days. The shooter in the 2015 massacre of white supremacists named Dylan Roof obtained a firearm after law enforcement officials did not block the purchase within 3 days. H.R. 1446 would extend the 3 day time frame to 10 days. If no denial is given into 10 days, a potential buyer could ask for a final determination. The purchase would be allowed if no decision is made in the following 10 days. Um, this right here is a little, I gotta do more research. Does that mean if I were to purchase a firearm and 10 days has gone by, would I actually have to ask for the final determination or would it be automatically? That makes no sense. The National Rifle Association Institution for Legislation Action says that the 3 day window is necessary safety valve and said without it, the FBI has no incentive to complete checks in a timely manner. Progressive organizations like the Center of American Progress, on the other hand, says it allows unstable Americans to evade the law and buy guns. And so this is a pet peeve of mine is who gets to determine who is unstable. No, it's a serious question. Is do soldiers that have no intentions of harming anyone, but since they are soldiers and served in the military and were sent to Iraq or Afghanistan that suffers from PTSD, does that make them unstable even though they have no desire to go and create a horrendous act with someone that is depressed? Would this be going into more of a psychological background? I mean, I understand that there's some merits to that argument, but you're trying to put people in boxes which may or may not have the effect. that's guaranteed. Senator Chris Murphy, Democrat from Connecticut, argued that the political landscape has changed since 2019, calling the NRA a shell of itself during a Thursday briefing in which fellow Sen. Richard Blumenthal, Democrat from Connecticut, discussed in 2012 Sandy Hook shooting that killed 26 people, including 20 children. The Biden administration said Monday it will look forward and work with Congress to straighten the federal gun background check and implement a common sense steps to reduce gun violence, urging that the House to pass two measures that will close existing loophole systems. Actually, I think if you look at the research, gun violence have gone down. I think 2020, they did see a spike, and I want to say the majority of those were from suicide since they get labbed into it. Now, however, there is some good news coming out of my state of Texas, which might become its own country. Lawmakers push to allow concealed weapons in Texas public schools. They're not talking colleges, they're talking actual public schools, grade K through 12. All guns must be holstered and out of sight. 6 years after Texas passed a controversial measure allowing licensed gun owners to carry concealed handguns onto college campuses, one Republican state lawmaker is pushing to expand the law by allowing licensed adults to carry weapons in public and charter schools. The bill is staunchly pro gun. Author State Senate Bob Hall sees the move more as a logical extension of the Texas campus carry law, which passed in 2015. Over the passionate pleas of Democrats, gun control advocates, and some university officials who feared the increase of violence, and I don't think there has been an increase of violence. Hall's bill is one of several addressing school safety in session, while other lawmakers seek to expand the state's school marshal program, which lets trained school teachers and support staff carry guns onto campus. Governor Greg Abbott has endorsed that program, and the legislature has expanded it in previous years. Guns took center stage in 2015 when the legislature allowed licensed Texans to openly carry handguns in public and moved to harden schools in the wake of the mass shooting elsewhere, like the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. After stalling in House committee, proponents scrambled to pass a watered down version of the campus carry bill that deemed a priority in the upper chambers and in the session's final hours. Critics who defeated the bill in previous years were stunned. That's right. Texas is trying to be a pro gun state. Now, back to the House and the Congress. There is something called the filibuster. Like I said, I wanted to kind of break it up in this video. So, a filibuster is a parliamentary procedure used in the United States to prevent a measure being brought to a vote. Most common form of filibuster occurs when one or more senators attempt to delay or block a vote on a bill by extending debate on the measure. Now, reason why I bring this up because the filibuster is in the crosshairs of the Democrat-controlled Congress. They actually want to remove this to streamline laws being signed into effect. And unfortunately, there is one person standing in this way, which is Senator Joe Manchin, because I think such a measure just requires a majority vote, which would mean Kamala Harris would be the tie that decides to end the filibuster. Now, I think hopefully you understand where this is going. Senator Joe Manchin is one powerful senator right now that's currently in office, and we must give him our support. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, if you're a gun owner and you actually like the America being free as it is with the First Amendment and Second Amendment, We must show support for Joe Manchin and encourage that checks and balances remain in effect. So that is one of my calls to actions, is to just show him respect and show him that other members of the United States support him, even though he may not vote the way that you always want him to. But at least he is a thorn in the Democrat side right now. Like it says here, do not hesitate to contact me to share your common sense ideas, concerns, if you need assistance. Yes, go ahead. I know it says energy dem, but he we need all the allies we can get. That is just my 2 cents into this. Leave a comment down below on what your thoughts are. Smash the like and subscribe button on all platforms. But most importantly, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.